Okay, hello YouTube. I'm gonna play a few chess games here. So what do we got so far? We got a Sicilian. Yeah, a lot of times when people think this move order, they try to do this. This is supposed to be the remedy for it. You just play a6 and then you play queen c7 and put pressure on that knight as quickly as possible. There's some interesting tricks here. Like if you take and queen takes and knight c6, queen c6, it's probably slight edge white, so we're just going to do that. Just going to play bishop d6, probably knight c4, and then just bishop e7. Don't want to give up that bishop pair. He's thinking now. He's probably wondering why I haven't taken on d4 yet. Because I know your tricks. Okay, king e7. I should be okay here, I would think. Who knows, maybe not. Maybe this is just advantage white, but I can't imagine I'm that much worse. All my pieces are out. I mean, everything looks okay. I'm just going to kind of run to safety now. Just make sure the worst won't happen. Should be completely equal at this point. So like each side has a pawn majority here, so like white has a 3-on-2 and black has a 4-on-3. So in the past, like, you know, when I was a kid, like a lot of people would always say, like, you know, the 4-on-3 pawn majority is sort of a natural, I mean, the 3-on-2 pawn majority is a natural advantage, or the queenside pawn majority is a natural advantage. But as I became a more experienced player, I sort of learned that the 4-on-3 is just as good as the 3-on-2. With pawn majorities, what really matters is who activates their pawn majority first. So you just have to put a lot of effort into making sure that your pawn majority gets activated, which is what you're going to see me try to do. So first, I don't want infiltration, and I want to be able to play f5 and e5 kind of as quickly as possible. So that's what we're going to focus on, is activating. It's hard to activate here, though. Maybe e5? So yeah, again, the goal is to activate. So like now if bishop c6, we take back with the pawn, making sure that the queen continues to defend the pawn on e5. And then eventually we want to play like king g7 f6, and then we want to... At that point, our pawn majority is activated. That's the main thing. If we can activate our 4-on-3 before he can activate his 3-on-2, basically whoever activates their majority first has some kind of advantage. So things are looking okay. A little worried about if rook e1, I have to play f6. Okay, so here f5 can get played, which is good because then I can take back this way and I can fully activate the majority with e4. Ooh, dropped a pawn. Missed that. That's why he was so enthusiastic. Okay, but we activated. So we have an activated pawn majority and we have a lot of activity for that one pawn. So that could be a good thing for us. We'll see. Maybe it's just it could even just be advantage black, just because of how active I am right now. We're gonna try for sure. Like we have potential threats here. We've got this. We've got this. We've got a queen on a pretty strong square. We've got a lot of positive things going on here in the position. So we'll see how this all plays out. And this is tempting, just to play king here to hold that pawn, and then basically I'm just threatening to play, you know, e4, e3. So I'm down to 48 seconds. My opponent has 55 seconds. But somehow I think that's not going to be the deciding factor. I'm already getting aggressive with my king, so I think this is going to end badly for somebody. Maybe me. So h5, keeping him out of g4. Queen g4 was a threat. He's not threatening to come back here. I have these squares covered, and his time is ticking lower. This is a good position for my opponent to have time pressure, because he's going to want to try to figure out how to infiltrate with his queen, and there just might not be a way to do it. So this was a very favorable conversion. Now the rook upon endgame should be significantly better for me. He's going to have to play... Oh, that was terrible. I thought he was going to do something completely different. I'm up a lot of pawns here. It's a really clean conversion. For basically no reason, for no cost. And we check him. And we go here. And we block like this because it's hilarious. And we push again. And we're going to play here. And we're going to laugh in his face. And we check. We take. We go back. This is silly now. Mate! Yes, and nobody lost on time. I was close, though. It took me a little while to mate right at the end. So, okay, well, I guess that game went pretty well. So, let's just take a look at it. Let's analyze the game just to kind of close the video. Like, let's see where I went wrong, because I obviously did go wrong in a couple of places. So we'll just take a look back here. And the main thing I'm curious about is, was I ever significantly worse? I was. That's what I thought. Like, right in here, I'm actually significantly worse. So, like, after I drop the pawn. So, before I drop the pawn, if I don't play f5, everything is fine. So, it's pretty close to equality. And I probably played the opening pretty close to... Actually, this was terrible. So, yeah. Okay, so where did I really go wrong here? So, here, probably knight on bishop d6. Knight here, bishop e7... dc5, bishop c5, bishop c5, queen c5, just knight a4 is winning. So I missed that idea. Knight a4 to b6 should be a winning advantage. That's terrible. So what did I have here instead of bishop d6, knight on b to d7? So that's how you're supposed to maintain equality in this position. I knew you weren't supposed to take on d4. Like, I knew from experience, like, c takes d4 is advantage white. Like, I knew that. But bishop d6 is incorrect, so it's supposed to be knight on b to d7. It's a little anti-instinctual. You wouldn't think... You'd think that you'd need to try to get castled as quickly as possible, but I guess the goal is just to undermine this knight as quickly as possible. Because, like, now if knight on b to d7, knight d7, bishop d7, you've effectively gotten rid of the big problem. And then bishop f3, now you can complete your development without any issues. Like knight a4, d6, b6. So that's the main issue that I missed in the opening. And of course I was much worse later as well. Like here, yeah, already here I'd equalized. Like with my king in the middle, this is fine. Like even with king e7, like it's totally equal. That I was right about. And then castles, knight c6, king back to f8, everything's fine, takes. This is all pretty much okay. e5 is a mistake, so I'm trying to activate my kingside majority, which is the right thing to do, but the computer just thinks I should play something like queen b5 and just keep this nice and solid for now. One of the nice things about my pawns is they're all in light squares, and he has a light squared bishop, so maybe just keeping that stable for the time being. So instead of just moving heaven and earth to kind of activate my kingside majority at the expense of making my king much weaker as well. So that's probably adding to the evaluation drop. So king g7, h3, f5 is a mistake. He has bishop c6, b6, rook d8, and then it hangs the pawn. So, and that's what he did. And so he took the pawn, and then I managed to make everything work because he couldn't figure out how to make progress, although so far he did pretty good. King g5, queen c8 was the big mistake. He's trying to figure out how to get in, and he couldn't do it, but h5 wasn't all that great. So that's the real blunder, was queen b4, and he just gave it to me. And then I have complete equality, and then that morphed into advantage black, and then I don't think I ever let go after I got here. So yeah, at this point it's just nothing, no huge mistakes from this point on, because it's pretty much over. Yeah, then king f1, etc. Okay. So, sort of a bunch of mistakes in the opening, and hanging the pawn was a mistake on my part as well. So, even though you win the game, like, you have to kind of almost analyze your wins like they're losses. Just try to focus in on those mistakes and learn from those mistakes. I mean, and then you can get two positive results. You can get a positive result from winning the game the first time, because you got lucky, and then of course you can get a positive result by playing it correctly the next time and hopefully winning the next game by playing it correctly. And always go back to the very first, initial mistake and try to correct that one and try to understand exactly why you did that wrong. So in this case, the very first initial mistake was way back here. When I played bishop d6, I really needed to play this other highlighted move here, this move, knight on d7. And of course, the idea was that I was completely missing the idea of knight c4 followed by knight a4 followed by one of these knights going into b6. And that was what I needed to be concerned about, more so than castling. So I already knew from, like I said, previous experience, cd4 is bad. I've played that before, by the way, and it's been bad. So I knew not to do that. But now it's just really learning what to do, and so now I'm evolving again in my preparation for this very kind of rare kind of sideline. It's going to be knight on d7 is the correct move, and then in the future I'm going to play that move, and I'll probably make more mistakes, and then I'll learn from those as well. But anyways, that's how you get better, and that's what we do. We play games, we analyze, we learn. Okay, so anyways, I hope you learned something new about chess. Hope you learned from my mistakes. Thank you very much for watching.